THA.
Yeah, that. Baby Mac. Yeah, that. Hey, a gang of bitches in my contacts, blue range, the riches, mafia crippin' and all that. Yeah, that. What the fuck? Yeah, that. Hey, a gang of bitches in my contacts, blue range, the riches, mafia crippin' and all that. Yeah, that. Yeah, that. So don't compare me to rappers, I'm in my own lane. It ain't too much change, I still represent the game. Blue range and gold chain, murder when we ball play. Vodka mixed with lemonade, politic the whole day. My knuckles squat from catching phase. Kick cat and see cool. Nigga, this that crib language. We still smoke blue Chuck Taylor. Nigga, I can't explain it. It stay dangerous, we no longer holler, stay safe. He got some smut up on his name, the cuz can't stay. Bands when I run a play, I bust and they run away. I told my kids I see them tomorrow. Shit, I can't die today and celebrate the homie's death like it's a holiday. So when I go, y'all do the same. That's a mafia day. Hey, a gang of bitches in my contacts, blue range, the riches, mafia crippin' and all that. Yeah, that. What the fuck? Yeah, that. Hey, a gang of bitches in my contacts, blue range, the riches, mafia crippin' and all that. Yeah, that. All that. Yeah, that. And I ain't new to this nigga, they ask me how I been. I tell them same fight, different round. I only play to win. In the paint like Big Ben on that block shit. I got the juice, I'm on that pot shit. Niggas act like they can't die from a stock clip. It's that hot shit, the type of music make your homies bang in traffic. See the enemies and get active. Tiny Mac spazzing, don't get caught on them bang schemes. The homies scoring points, real game bang athletes. Hey, a gang of bitches in my contacts, blue range, the riches, mafia crippin' and all that. Yeah, that. What the fuck? Yeah.
Scandal Los Angeles. This is a dude that trying to call himself LA Scandalous, gets into black politics. That's a cracker. Well, not a cracker. Well, he's a cracker. What I mean by cracker, I don't say white people crackers. There's people who have crackers that are people that are there, but
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Hey, Scandalous Los Angeles TV, before we answer another question, why don't you type in the chat what city and state you're in, or country? Just type
no, he ain't gonna tell the truth. It don't matter.
I know.
He ain't gonna tell the truth. Everybody know he's somebody, a white boy that behind an AI voice.
Yeah.
That's keep involving himself in LA business. I don't understand how guys from LA allow him to do that on a channel with a blood rag and a red rag on it. Blood rag and a red rag on it. I really don't get it, but hey.
The Scandalous guy said, "Hey John, I got a question for you. How does it make you feel when Reggie calls me a white cracker right in front of you?" It doesn't bother me one bit.
Because he's not a cracker.
Yeah.
See, that's just like saying a nigger or a nigga. You know, there's niggers or niggas, which is the correct word.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I don't call most black men niggas, but there is some niggas. Just like there's some crackers. But I'm not all white men are crackers. But it's good to feel that you finally acknowledging that you are a white man.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
It wouldn't even be as bad if you used your real voice, but the fact that you try to use an AI voice that sounds like a black person is kind of disrespectful in itself. You're misrepresenting who you are or what you are. So, yeah, I have no problem with that.
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. Not only do we ETE, expose the exposers, but we also ETE, edify through entertainment. And that's exactly what we plan to do today. By now you already know about the drama unfolding between us and Bomb First. The other day I uploaded a video titled "Marion Knight Goes Nuclear on Reggie Wright and Whack 100" that Bomb First had taken down, claiming it was harassment. The video I did wasn't using their content, it actually came from Discretion TV. I simply highlighted a moment where Simon said, Every woman Reggie had, he had first. That's what they struck me for. And yeah, after all that, I responded with a little humor. Dropped a few funny visuals like Notorious P.I.G. and the refrigerator Reggie. But only after they tried to take me down over content that didn't even belong to them. Then they took it a step further and hit me with a copyright strike on a full-length documentary I produced myself. That wasn't about copyright. That was about trying to silence me. So we reached out to Reggie and got in touch with John at Bomb first. Reggie and John agreed to retract the strike, and we're just waiting for that to go through, and I appreciate that. We also reaffirmed the original agreement. I can still cover Reggie when it's relevant, as long as it's done respectfully, which it always has been, until the strike.
But he want to say this, try to promote his little channel. Reggie, I thought you said you could tap at each other. And we can't tap each other, but lie on people? Why you struck me? You struck Scandalous, John?
Yep.
Oh, you did? Okay. Oh, yeah, I knew we did Deuce. I didn't know you got him. You said I was Deuce's girlfriend. All I did was tap at you with the refrigerator. You do stuff every day talking about, you done made up some female talking about.
Reggie gets pissed, tries to get his lawyer in there, right? Suge wasn't going for it. It ain't Reggie's company.
And you put stuff on there calling me a pig. Reggie, the notorious pig. And you don't think I could tap at you?
Like I said earlier, the only reason I even responded that way is because John struck my page. At first I thought it was Reggie, but Reggie just confirmed that John was the one who did it.
And you know, hey, play fair. Use your own stuff. Use your voice for once. Mm-hmm. Stop using the AI voice.
You know, it's sad. It's really sad. These white boys can run entire YouTube channels using AI voices. No face, no name, just content. There are whole tutorials out there, entire segments dedicated to faceless YouTube channels, showing people exactly how to do it. But the moment a black man does the same thing, suddenly it's a problem. Suddenly he's being told, use your real voice. Y'all see what's going on, right?
I think you're a white boy from the UK myself. I bet you, but you know, to call yourself, I don't even know how Deuce Films and all them let you get into LA politics, and you're not even from out here, and you're a white guy that do research and go, and like I said, you know, white people can be in hip hop and all of this, but you getting involved in gang activity and stuff like that.
Reggie keeps backtracking on all his little white boy comments, because he forgets he's sitting right next to a white boy when he says them. Then, like clockwork, he tries to flip the narrative and say, I'm the one focused on gang politics. This channel isn't about gang politics. This channel is about exposing the exposers, and that includes everyone CS2 back brings along with him, Reggie included. Now Reggie wants to act like a white man being involved in gang politics is some kind of issue. But the guy he's always sitting next to, the white skater from Georgia, is knee-deep in it. And CS2 back. He consistently podcasts with a white Satanist who couldn't care less about our people. This same white boy is deep in the mix of gang politics, fully embedded. And worse, he's on the internet trying to set people up who are already in the middle of a federal case. Take Loose Cannon. He's in federal custody right now, accused of extorting a weed shop with Big U. But not once did Loose Cannon go on Adam 22's platform and admit to extorting a weed shop. Not once. But Adam gets on a recorded call, knowing the feds are listening, and asks, you robbed the weed shop, or you extorted them, right?
Let me just hit you with a narrative. Is that a lot of people think that, in particular Trap Lord Ross, they think that you saying that you were falling out with Wack over the fact that he reported on the cops raiding your house when you allegedly got swatted or whatever, they think that that was all a cover because you actually were mad at Wack for basically getting Big U caught up because you knew that you were going to get caught up as a result of some of the shit that that Big U and you did together?
No, well, me and Big Useless didn't do anything. Me and Big Unisex never did not one thing together. So
you robbed the weed shop, or you extorted him, right? You robbed the weed shop, or you extorted him, right? You robbed the weed shop, or you extorted him, right?
No, never robbed no weed shop, Adam.
You guys, Loose Cannon is in federal custody right now. He's being charged with extortion and robbery, caught up in an indictment involving Big U and Brick Baby. So what does Adam 22 do? He gets on the phone with Loose Cannon, on a federally recorded line, knowing full well the feds are listening, and tries to bait him into admitting to the very crimes he's being charged with. Adam literally tries to get Loose Cannon to confess on tape. And after pulling a move like that, Adam still turns around and inserts himself into gang politics like it's nothing. And guess what? Reggie doesn't have a problem with Adam's voice, even though he's a white man from clear across the United States. Reggie has no problem with his co-host John having a voice, even though he's a white boy from Georgia. What about these guys? Reggie doesn't have a problem with any of these guys inserting themselves in black politics. We all know how much he loves the way Vlad from Russia inserts himself into gang politics.
All right, let me ask you another question. And I remember I asked Beanie Siegel the same question. Who do you think, based on your, your experience and your background, who do you feel are the real gangsters in hip hop?
He doesn't question or even point out their motives. For some reason,
but you getting involved in gang activity and stuff like that. LA, I don't even touch on certain parts of towns and stuff like that. I only touch on town and people that I know from the Compton, LA area. But you insert yourself and stuff, and you got a channel that's just built on. I bet you go look at your 5 last videos. They're about Reggie Wright.
It's crazy. I've got over 100 videos on my channel, and only the last 3 are about Reggie Wright. Just 3. Because for the past 20 years, I've watched Reggie get on the internet and insult Simon in every way imaginable. He's been dragging Simon publicly for 2 decades. When Simon finally gets online and responds, that's a big deal. Everybody heard it. Everybody wanted to talk about it. That wasn't just some clip. That was news. And yeah, I made 3 videos about it. But Reggie's got 100 videos on his channel, all talking about Simon. See, this just proves what I've been saying. He doesn't have a problem with white people being involved in gang politics. We've already seen that. He's got a problem with me. And for the record, Reggie knows I'm not white, and that I'm from right here, and not some other country. He's playing dumb like this, so that when his tactical team knocks me down, he can act like he thought I was a white guy from the UK the whole time. Don't let Reggie spin you.
You just want to do videos disrespecting me, and I'm glad John got your ass. I hope you use more stuff. Matter of fact, now that I know he's on your ass, I thought you were just messing with Deuce. I was gonna let Deuce off the hook. I was just showing Deuce, don't mess with me. But since y'all want to go ahead and take it, I'll get y'all channel taken down because y'all don't use nothing but our content. And so I'll get y'all taken down for 14 days. So you learn how to do your titles. You put out stuff that's correct information.
Reggie keeps talking about putting out correct information. But let's be real. How many times have we caught Reggie putting out false information on his channel? He's been pushing lies and misinformation for years. That's not even up for debate. And now he's trying to lecture me about accuracy. He's out here demanding that I put out correct information. But the crazy part is, I still don't even know what he thinks I got wrong. What exactly did I say that wasn't true?
But this to disrespect people and lie on people? Talking about some female, you got some female. You up there talking about my car got repossessed. Wait a minute. They repossessed my car from me. I hadn't drove the car that I bought for Buntry. I gave him on the date sometime in September and let him drive it around every day until he got shot and killed in it. So y'all just got all your information, just making up shit. Got some female, bet she won't ever say her name, talking about that she went to the law to sue me. How could Buntry sue me for anything? The bankruptcy estate went through Suge books like crazy. Never got sued. So all of that, y'all stuff that you're talking, you got some female talking all of this shit. I bet you she won't ever say her name because I know she ain't worked for no death row. I didn't give Buntry the car. He was driving it. The car was in my name. It wasn't a gift. It was just, here, nigga, drive this. So you can be around and follow Suge around.
And how many cars, Reggie, were quote-unquote
in
death
my
row
name
cars that were in your name?
Yeah. 3 of Suge cars was in my name.
Okay.
The limo was in my name. I had probably about 5 or 6 cars.
That's all I wanted to tell people.
Yeah, 5 to 6 of the cars that was around there was in my name. So everything that was bought from 2000, 2001 was in my name.
Yeah.
Shit, the cars that most of the bras that Teresa Swan was driving around was in my name. The house in Malibu that she stayed in was in my name. The house that Stormy and Lil Suge grew up in was in my name. So yeah, I'm the one that handed him the key. Yes.
So Reggie hired this firm and formed a company called Death Row Records, which Reggie was secretly stealing Suge's checks and putting it in that Death Row Records bank account. So Reggie had already taken the building, right? And he was stealing Suge's checks for 5 years. So when Suge got out of jail, his money was gone. And he didn't know why. What happened, right? So Suge hired, right? You following me?
Uh-huh.
Because Reggie was putting the money in the second account, right? So Buntry was Suge's childhood friend. Mob liked to take credit for that, but no, they all grew up together. Suge and Buntry were like brothers. They were tight. And Buntry was a tough guy from Peru, right? So what happened was, I told Buntry and Suge, we scheduled a meeting with some litigators, right? But before we went up to that meeting, and that meeting was Buntry Marquez was retired PD, Suge Security. In that meeting were Buntry, me, Marquez, and the head of the law firm, right? It was downtown. Now, when Suge found that not only had Reggie put the Beverly Hills building, 8200 Wilshire, in Reggie's name at the county recorder's office downtown, the janitor went down and found those paperwork. So let me go back. All right. So the day before, 2 days before that meeting, right, Suge and Buntry found out that Reggie put the building in his name. Suge's pissed. That building is worth millions, right? And Suge don't own it no more, right? So Suge's pissed because he don't even have no deed to his own shit, right? Which is what Reggie did while Suge was up in Mule Creek for 5 years on the parole violation for Pac, kicking Pac at the MGM, right?
Right.
You know, the thing with Orlando Addison where they kicked him and all that shit. Okay,
right.
So they were hot over that building shit that Little ruffled them about, right? They were hot. Okay. Then when I found all the paperwork where Reggie was stealing all the checks, they're super hot. They're like, oh, fuck this shit, right? So they're like, Suge told Buntry to go repossess Reggie's SUV. Suge told Buntry to go repossess Reggie's SUV.
I don't want to show up to the house and said, here, homie, you can drive this around. But no, it wasn't in his name. It wasn't paid for. was a $1,400, or, well, it wasn't that much, $999. It was almost $1,000 a month car note on there. But I put the down payment because I traded in this Tahoe. I had anybody that know me, well, they done talked about it, where I had a Tahoe that looked like the one that Orlando, because that's why everybody thought I was the one that got shot when Orlando and them got shot. Because it was in a Tahoe truck that was similar to mine. Yeah, I remember that two-door Tahoe that we used to be on somewhere, and they tried to say they thought it was my car or something like that. They got shot or something like that. Well, I had a Tahoe like that, and that's what I traded in to give Buntry a 2001 Denali for him to drive around there. So y'all be over there putting up all that false bullshit. Y'all not gonna just be lying.
Reggie's
on
out
me.
here accusing us of lying on him. But we're not the ones who said it. The woman said it. And clearly she knows a little more about the situation than most people do. So why is Reggie pointing the finger at us? We didn't make it up. We're just reporting the news.
Y'all just not gonna be lying on me. And so, but that car was Buntry had driving around from about September or maybe October of 2001 all the way till he got shot and killed in April the 4th, April the 5th, 2002. Then I went and got it from out of the impound, and then I wasn't even fucking with Death Row then. I went and gave it the Tata, Lloyd Lake. I had him driving it around. And then then he got arrested. That car was bad luck. I remember I had my briefcase in the back of it. Had my wife a $15,000 diamond ring in the briefcase. And somebody broke in the back seat of that when my house in Ladera, stole the briefcase and stole her diamond ring. And I love it. And I was taking to get fixed because the diamond was loose. And I said, this fucking car is a bad luck car. And then I eventually got rid of it. But you wasn't even messing with Death Row then. No, I wasn't. I was working at A&M. I was doing the group The Relatives. But if you was from LA, you would know all of this. You needed to get off the internet and find somebody else to try to get your views. But, I looked at your views. You get about 10,000 views on doing your AI voice impressions or so. I was mad at Buntry and them then. We was all at war.
Reggie's out here saying they were all at war. But in the same breath, he says he let Buntry drive his car around until the day he died. So which one is it, Reggie? If y'all were really at war, why would Buntry be riding around in your car? That doesn't add up. You don't let someone from the other side, somebody you're supposedly at war with, drive your car like that. Especially not up until the day they die.
We was at war, not war shooting up each other, but it was like fuck each other there. Suge was trying to kill off my album, The Relatives. I had Interscope almost about ready to distribute. So I wasn't fucking with them then. I wasn't fucking with those Death Row dudes then. So, but hey, Scandalous, you do what you're gonna do, but I didn't go to the funeral. James, y'all heard me tell James on a live stream I didn't go, or on Gangster Chronicles, and James was even shocked. He didn't remember me not going. Why you try to make people think Suge had something to do with Buntry murder? I said, I'm starting to think that way. It gives me something to think about is what I said. But you know what? Shit, he fucking with the nigga now that shot and that killed Buntry. And learning of the information where your partner Ducille was on the phone with me. Ask Ducille, was he on the phone with me when Tata told the story about him also hearing about the slap? Ducille was on the phone, so he heard that as well. So I don't just make up stuff. And Timmy had said it. And all of that stuff. And I was like, goddamn, y'all gonna make me tell that story? Because Tata called me, was like, Reg, why you ain't tell that story yet, man? Why you ain't tell that?
Well, Well, I told you a long time ago, we interviewed Reggie Wright because he's trying to push a narrative that that Suge was beefing with Bunchy at the time of Bunchy dying. And because
no!
Yeah.
Oh, hell no! Those two would have given their life for each other.
Right.
No. Those were ride or die. Those were ride or die. And they both loved each other. To this day, if you see Suge's chest in about 3-inch tall letters, and Suge's a big chested guy. He's got a little waist and little legs, but that chest is a linebacker chest, okay? And all across it, in a big arc like a rainbow, and I'm going to say 3-inch tall letters is Buntry. Tattooed. For life, brother, for life. There was no beef. Everybody at the record company hated Reggie. Everybody. Hen Dog, Steve-O, Lip, T-Roo, Buntry, me, Tina, Sad, Ron Bilal, Bree. Everybody hated Reggie.
Was Sid really having a sexual relationship with Reggie?
I think so. Sid was gay as fuck. Sid had done time in the pen. Sid was stealing money from Suge. Couldn't be trusted with nothing. You couldn't trust Sid. We all hated Sid too, but we couldn't do nothing about it. We just hated Reggie more. Sid was as smart as Reggie. Reggie got in more with his dad's police connections. Okay? So, how the fuck did this shit come up now is what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, right now he's in a cyber war against Suge, right? And I'm talking about the gloves off. They both telling a whole bunch of truths and spinning it, pointing the fingers at each other and all of this. But in the midst of all of this,
and
Reggie
only
Wright
Suge is telling the truth. Reggie has to lie because he don't want to see. Buntry was loved in the streets. Henry had some friends. Dog had some friends because he did the Death Row logo. So people, that kind of put him on with the Pirate. He was in real good standing with the Pirate.
Right.
But nobody, Dog's funeral was crowded, packed, but Buntry's was standing room only all the way out to the street. Buntry was loved in the hood, across multiple hoods, not just Pirate. Okay, everybody loved Buntry. Everybody loved Buntry. I can't tell you that enough. Okay, the whole hood showed up when Buntry died. People loved him. Buntry was solid. Buntry didn't talk. Buntry worked. You could trust him. He wasn't a snitch. He never snitched. He knew every fucking thing, and Suge loved him. And that is why Reggie killed him, because Reggie had lost his job at the company as Wright security. Suge had fired him, and Buntry was Suge's strongman, Suge's ace in the street, right? Like, you couldn't, to get to Suge, you had to get through Buntry.
Right.
And Reggie knew that. And that's why Reggie took him out.
But hey, keep your channel going, bro. Get your views. But don't do it at the expense of lying on Reg. Ain't gonna happen. So Suge Berry Buntry and a marble spent. Who told you that? You ain't spent no $250,000. Man, there's a goddamn episode with Suge with James and them talking about he ain't had a tombstone yet.
But it was not the same without Buntry. Suge was a broken man. Suge was never the same after they killed Buntry. Never. Never. Never, never, never. That took a piece of Suge that Suge will never get back. We loved Buntry. You should have seen how much money he paid for Buntry's funeral. Everybody was there. House was packed. We went, Bunter got in the mausoleum, like the same place like Michael Jackson is. Like, he didn't get buried in no regular grave. No. Bunter got buried in marble, okay? They let off a bunch of white doves at his funeral. Ray J was there. Everybody was there. Limousines. Suge spent about, I don't know, I'd say $250,000 on Bunter's funeral. Okay, that was an expensive funeral, let me tell you. That was no cheap funeral. If you're feuding with someone, you don't spend your last dollars burying them in marble. Marble!
Right.
Inside the mausoleum. You have to go through the door.
Did Reggie go to Bunty's funeral?
No, Reggie was not invited. He better not show up. He would have been killed if he had showed up. We had guys posted up everywhere. Nobody at the company liked Reggie.
Yeah.
They didn't even do what they call that, gravestone, headstone.
Yeah.
Like a year later. Don't you? Any of y'all been there? Y'all done heard that story with James? Suge ain't did nothing. Suge went and got $50,000 from Johnny Cochran, and I done told these stories before. And didn't even do that. The mother didn't even want to take no money for Suge. A funeral, only thing a funeral costs is $10,000 to $15,000, if that. It was done at a church. And man, please, no, $250,000 on his funeral. Oh my God! How do I know if I wasn't there? Because number one, I dealt with the bookkeeper. I dealt with the bookkeeper.
Came into my office wanting to see the coroner photos of Left Eye because he wanted to know what happened to Left Eye. His Left Eye was fucking Suge. Left Eye was in love with Suge. We all were. We worked for him. We loved being at Death Row. It was fun. We was having pizza parties, drinking, gangbangers hanging out in the parking lot, in the studio, going to restaurants. We were having the time of our lives. All we had to do was get rid of Reggie, and we were good. We were on our way. We had plenty of artists. We had PB, Pretty Boy. We had Ray J. We had Miss Cholet. We had Corrupt Facts. We had Crooked Eye. We had Jim Giddem. We had great engineers, great producers at the studio. We were good to roll. Jermaine Jackson came to the studio. I mean, we were banging. Mia was down there, you know, from Maya, M-Y-A. She was down there.
Oh, yeah, Maya.
Maya was down there. We were having fun, man. Corrupt was cutting songs. Spider Loaf was down there. Eastwood was down there. Vegas was down there. Suge had a full crew ready to go. Then Reggie started killing people.
You really believe me and Suge ain't talked about things since April 2002?
Or you and James, right?
Or James too, but you know they ain't gonna believe what James say.
Yeah.
But anybody. But you don't think me and Suge, women talk? And man, I know everything that went on and what went in and out of that place.